All right, it is April 30th, 2015. We're having our weekly business meeting. Um, on our agenda, since Brian's not here, I guess we'll, for now, we'll skip over the finances. I'll try and, if he doesn't send something out to everybody over email, I'll ask him to provide an update. Usually when he's missed in the past, he's provided an update himself. As far as the project updates, woodworking bench, I know Josh has been in a couple times while I've been there to work on it. I'm not sure whatever else, how much more he's got on all that. As far as the security cameras goes, I've been trying to. I need to do another day, see if somebody else wants to meet me down there to work on the cameras a little bit. Um, the one up on the wall is seems to be working fine. We still need. I've got one of the outdoor cameras mounted by the back door, but I'm having some trouble fishing through the wire to the into the interior. I tried to use the conduit there, but I was bumping into something. I even moved stuff out of the corner there to see if I could get up into the corner and get um, the cable through, but it seems to be getting stuck. So I may need to get some help to get that set up. Did anybody know? I didn't notice any emails from anybody or anything, but does anybody know what happened to the ceiling in the front area there above where the camera was mounted? It looks like they had a bunch of um, ceiling tiles out, and the looks like even some of the drop-down ceiling had been busted.
I think Jeff mentioned the other day that it had just degraded and fallen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he actually said it fell on him.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, because at first I thought maybe they had a leak in the roof or something like that, but there didn't seem to be any sort of water. The ceiling tiles and the insulation and all that stuff wasn't waterlogged, so
mhm.
I didn't know what had happened up there. Um, and then I have a signed liability waiver. Is that from Jeff?
No, we had discussed it already, and I did go out to our Google Docs, and we do have one.
Oh, okay. This is for just for like our members and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, it was for us to sign. I know I've never signed one, and I think we need to go ahead and get that going.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
Okay.
has ever signed one. I don't have any of them.
What are our plans for storing those? Do we want to scan them and load those back up onto Google Drive, or do we need to keep a hard copy at the space somewhere?
I don't know. I don't know that we need to keep it at the space. Wherever we have other business documents, I would just chuck them in with
I've not seen any business documents. I've got a folder set aside for that.
Okay.
Put them in there, and then keep an electronic copy.
yeah.
All right. Do we have a way of actually scanning and loading those up once people sign them?
I do.
All right.
You can actually use your cell phone too. You can there's an app you can get to take a picture of it and turn it into a PDF.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean that may work as well. I just didn't know if let me actually go out to
We got
the.
this that multifunction down there too we can use.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Anyway, the liability waiver is on the shared drive. It's under insurance. Apparently, it's been out there since May 10th of last year.
Alright.
Yeah, let
So we
me
just need to get copies printed out and
Mm-hmm.
put up there so that when we're in there we can sign it and at least
Yep.
have it. So when one of us chops our hands off on the table saw,
Should we just create another folder in here called signed waivers and then load them there?
Yeah, we can put it under that insurance for that where the template is.
Yeah. All right. That would probably be a good idea then. All right. And we've got some events coming up. We've got Pop Up Broadway May 2nd, as well as May Art Walk. Dana, do you want to tell us a little bit more about Pop Up Broadway? What sort of what that's all about? And,
I hope it says Pop Up Broad.
oh,
Oh, that's
Does it?
right.
So
Broad.
Pop Up Broad.
yeah.
May.
Sorry.
So that's Terrence's or One Mobile,
Mhm.
their event. They are taking properties like some blighted properties at like Broad and Dolphin, uh, and turning it into a one-day vendors and art and I think like some food trucks or somebody else will be there as well. They have about
Mhm.
I think over 40 vendors signed up, and he asked if we could come and set up something. I'm not really specific about what, so I was just planning on going down there, grab a table, a plastic table, and the banner and some sign, the handouts and some other
Right.
stuff, and just more or less hang out.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said, I will be able to do the from 11 to 1. Should be no problem. Um, what's the actual location that we're going to be at? Have they
No
provided
idea. Nope.
that?
No
All
idea.
right. Okay.
Nope. Maybe there won't be a
Um,
location and just turn around and go back to the space. And
all right.
I don't really know.
Cool. All right.
So
Well, that should be pretty fun.
it'll be interesting to see because it's been pretty well publicized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I remember seeing it on the that website or whatever. Um, and we also have obviously May Art Walk coming up on 5/8. So that's not this up. Oh, this it's not this Friday. Obviously, it's next Friday. So that should be pretty cool. We should be have everything set up like we did, I think, for the open house. Have the laser cutter going, Shapeoko, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Jeff will
So,
not be there, and so Delta Bike Project has got something else they're doing that night somewhere else. So,
okay.
if I remember right.
Yeah, I mean, if we, as long as we've got the lights on and the door, the big roll-up door, as long as the weather's pretty good, we should hopefully at least get people that are coming by and stuff, and maybe some residual for people that didn't get to make the open house, or people that came to the open house and want to also
Mm-hmm.
drop by again. So, um, and we've got classes and workshops, 3D printing. I guess Dana, you doing another one on 5/14?
Yeah, I'll plan another one. I haven't posted it yet, but that's my plan. Is
All right. And then we've got the laser engraver. Did Rich ever provide us with sort of a breakdown on how all that stuff works?
And, he's given me all the stuff that he's got, and I
Uh-huh.
compiled it into sections, and I've been working on the documentation, but I'm going through finals right now. So I will finish that when finals are over.
Okay. Now, do we have like a tool set? I mean, is that something where you, do we have the ability for somebody like for me to bring in my laptop? Can I get access to all the software that I need, or does it require? Because I know that it was like it needed like Corel Draw or something
Corel
like
Draw.
that.
It
I'm
needs,
sorry.
it does need Corel Draw.
Okay. Um, is that an? Is there? I mean, is there like a freely available thing, or is that something that we have to somebody has to pay for?
That's something that somebody has to pay for. Now, we've got the copy of CorelDRAW basically that came with the laser cutter,
Mm-hmm.
and it's on that laptop over there on the shelf. But if anyone
Okay.
wants to make anything to go on it, they'll have to use CorelDRAW or something that will export into CorelDRAW.
Now, what is is it that the print driver, I mean, is it something specifically built into CorelDRAW, or is it like a format type?
It's a Windows
Um,
driver and it uses HPGL, but
mm-hmm.
you can't use Inkscape because Inkscape rasterizes when it prints, so that doesn't work. So really, the only way I've been able to get it to work at all is to use CorelDRAW.
Okay. Have we tried something like Fireworks or GIMP or something that would be
GIMP will only do bitmaps. It's not going to do structure drawing. Um,
okay?
I was going to try
Um,
looking into other things. I tried Inkscape,
okay.
and it just didn't work too well. I've even tried the latest version. It didn't work too well. I was going to try OpenOffice Draw and do that one next and see where we got with it.
Okay. No,
I think primarily they're all CorelDRAW.
Yeah,
And that
it's going to be
when
Corel.
when you look at the market, it's like all the Chinese ones, Moshi Draw and everything uses
hmm
CorelDRAW, and it's like whatever its printer driver has this thing to where you can set up the color in the image to a specific laser setting. It's like a speed and whatever its power or whatever the other variable is. So
Gotcha.
it's like a specific print driver.
Right. It's an HPGL print driver, so that's why I was trying to make it work with something else, and it should, but it just doesn't, or at least not easily.
What I've read is that it's like an HPGL,
Yeah,
and it's not
well,
exactly.
you're right. It really isn't. I've exported it into a text file and looked at it as a text and looked at a standard HPGL and printout, and they don't match at all. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're doing something different.
And that's the way it is with all of them too. That the cheap ones are based off of this HPGL knockoff thing.
Okay.
There, I did see that there was some Inkscape plugin, maybe,
No, I've
but
tried it and I have not been able to make it work. It's outdated and hasn't been updated in a while, and it just bombs every time you try to use it.
gotcha.
Do
Um,
the are the new versions of CorelDRAW compatible, like 7 and all that?
he's used the X something or whatever, and it's still
X7?
yeah, he's got that on his personal laptop, and he
Mm-hmm.
uses that. And we've got like a old version on like 5, I think, on that laptop in there, and it works fine.
Okay.
There really shouldn't be a problem with it. I mean, that's the slow part, but you're not going to be sitting. You should not have to do design on that
Right.
laptop. You should be able to do design anywhere you can do vector drawings, and then bring them into CorelDRAW.
Okay.
And there is I found one tutorial where you can export a structured drawing from Inkscape into Corel, but it is a pain in the rear because you got to make lots of changes.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. And then we've got Shapeoko listed here. Um, what do we need to do to be able to do a Shapeoko workshop? Is there? I mean, I haven't really messed with it much at all. Is it just use a slicer, like a 3D printer?
It uses, I mean, more or less, it's the Universal G Code Sender, which it's kind of like what if you're hooked directly to the 3D printer. But no, it doesn't use a
hmm
slicer though, because it's really only um, 2.5D kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's. I mean, we can do a class. Is just set up. I would just go through the workflow about how you use it.
Right.
Here's how you go through like easel and draw something or take something from Inkscape, a vector drawing, and bring it in and cut it.
Okay. I'd be more than happy to. I mean, if I can get trained on it a little bit, do one night. Maybe even do it on like a Monday, when I'm normally there or something like that. So,
Yeah.
um, if I can get somebody to kind of show me how all that stuff works, I'd be more than happy to do one.
Maybe a thing to do is after Rick has finals later in May. Let's do a Fab Day thing where we sit down and we do training on the laser engraver and the Shape Oko, kind of as a big group,
Cool. Yeah.
so that like the members and stuff know how to use it, and then that'll give us a chance too to kind of um, dry run a workshop on both of them. I
Right.
think.
One thing we might want to try and do, since we have quite a few spare, um, well, I guess those all run Linux. One thing that Enzo was telling me at the open house was to let him know, maybe some of our hardware needs, and he's, up at the plant, they're throwing stuff away all the time. Um, for things like the laser cutter and the Shapeoko, maybe we want to sort of pick a machine and make that the machine that is the Shapeoko machine, so that anybody can drop by the space with their files and stuff like that, or the laser engraver machine, and so that we've got something ready to go for them, so that they can just use that terminal instead of having to kind of fiddle around with trying to get all the software that they need and stuff. That might be something that we can talk to him about, see if he's got any spare machines, maybe that already still have like an OEM copy of Windows on them, so that they're easy to set up and use. I know that with the Linux machines, especially, like, I don't know that we have a sort of a Corel draw that we can run on the Linux.
Now, that Inkscape works great for the Sudoku. And also what's that one you were talking about, the web-based one, Dana?
Easel.
Easel. Easel is what would be the perfect thing to use on it, and it's a web-based.
Okay. Well, and in that case, we can use one of one of the laptops, the ThinkPads or something like that. Get that set up and
Yeah, we
sort of.
already have one set up.
Okay.
It would be
Cool.
nice though to have, like, if there's faster machine or something like that, but
Yeah. Maybe we'll see what what he's got spare, and then maybe replace some of those ThinkPads with something a little bit faster, even if it's like a Core 2, or um, some older i3s or something like that.
A couple of those
A
ThinkPads are i5s, and a couple
couple
of
of those ThinkPads are i5s.
we
yeah,
got we got two
Oh,
i5s and a Core 2.
oh,
All
I
on
didn't
Inkscape.
know that. I thought they were I thought I
there's
saw
it's a mix.
Centrinos.
It's a mix.
Oh,
There's
okay.
there's two or three that are decent machines.
Hmm.
Are they in that green bin?
One of them is. The other one is on the bench plugged into the 3D printer. And then there's another one on the bench that's a Core 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of those HPs, those are Core 2.
Okay, yeah, we might want to maybe move off some of the Centrinos and some of those, and replace them with some Core 2s and stuff that we've got. Um, Also, we have Fairhope Public Library. They've invited us to come give a summer teen workshop Wednesday at 3:30 on either June 17th, July 1st, 8th, or 15th. Is there somebody heading that up?
I've been talking with Jillian. I did this last year with him, and gave the money, the makerspace. I don't want to do it alone this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's 3:30 to 5. That pays $100. Um, I've been emailing with her kind of what kind of things they want to do. Um, they want something more of like project based as opposed to show and tell.
Hmm.
Um, we can go over that. I was trying to see if there's somebody else that'll commit to doing it, then we come up with some ideas for it.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, I mean, if they're, if they're doing that, where they'll actually pay us to do it, we might even try and do more than one when they're doing their stuff. One of the things we can maybe look at is if you go to the make, summer make uh, things, they do a lot of those kind of like project-based YouTube videos. And some of them are fairly cheap. I mean, they have some really cool ones showing how to make some really awesome, like kind of the principles of flight using poster board and stuff like that. Like they basically just show how, paper airplanes don't necessarily have to look like airplanes, and then they show how you can tape pennies or quarters and stuff like that to make something that didn't fly previously all of a sudden that it does fly, and goes through some some of the principles of how flight works with lift and all that kind of stuff that we might be able to sort of easily demonstrate. The materials wouldn't be very expensive for us to be able to turn them loose and stuff like that. So I definitely would like to
Cool.
help out with that.
And on that case too, it's Jillian, and she said too if there's like any expensive stuff uh, that we could they could get the materials for it as well.
Okay.
It's just a matter of coming up with an idea and go from there.
All right.
That kind of reminded me that you said Summer of Make. What was the thing you said on YouTube?
Yeah, so Make Magazine does their sort of maker camp each year during the summertime. I think it's in June or July, and basically you can sign up and do classes on YouTube. So different maker spaces from all over will host little sort of like throughout the weeks. They'll have hangouts like this where they'll sort of talk about their makerspace a little bit, and then they'll do a demonstration on that kind of stuff where they're either making quick little things, or they'll some of them are pretty elaborate. I mean, some of them are really really well done. A lot of times they'll have artists. They've had people who are like designers who then show some of the tips and tricks that they do.
Is this with
So
Google as well?
I believe so, because it's all done through Google Hangouts. I don't know if Google is officially associated with it,
I think it's
but
all
they're
or code, if that's what you're talking about.
no, because it's not really computer limited to computers. It's all kind. It's like art, design. I'm sure they've got something on Make's
Because so
website.
last year we got hit up. A guy sent us a thing about it where if we signed up to do it, you could get like $500 to run the camp, or five hundred
Hmm.
dollars in stuff. I don't know. I assume it's like make these or Arduinos or something. And then it wasn't clear what the thing was that you had to offer. It was either you had to offer, did you have to offer it for a week, or did you just have to like do it for a day, kind of thing,
Yeah.
as
Uh,
as an affiliate. But okay, so it's called MakerCamp.com, and that's the one I was looking at. It's a partnership with Making Google, and this is summer camp. So there is an opportunity there to do the hosting thing as well. And the way the guy talked about it, it was like his backyard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, some
That
of them
sounds cool.
are in really nice maker spaces. Some of them are like in an office. Some of them are at people's homes. So I think you can pretty much do kind of whatever you'd like to do.
It's a good idea though to look through that for ideas.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Hmm.
And then the Explorium has invited us to give a Sparks talk.
They do a thing on, I think like on Wednesdays in the morning, and they're asked about scheduling something to do a talk on the maker movement.
Okay.
So I'm talking with Josh Holland over there. He asked about it. He's looking for, if it's something we're interested in, then we can move forward trying to schedule something. It would probably be in June
Hmm.
or July. Let me see what I wrote down.
Did they give any indication in as far as how long, sort of what they're looking for? I mean, it'd be fairly easy to put together sort of a PowerPoint of like sort of the history of make and sort of starting with sort of U.S. cottage industry. Everybody used to make everything. Then we sort of went into like a more of a consumer type deal, and then sort of start to show like a timeline of when Arduino came out and Raspberry Pi and all that kind of stuff.
Um, well, I'm just looking to see. There's put a URL in there on the agenda of what
Yeah.
the previous ones have been, and they actually look. It is not what I was thinking. I was thinking it was the kids thing that they do on Wednesdays. This is like looks like a once a month or maybe a couple times a month um, discussions. It's adult, definitely adult.
Is
Um,
this sort of like the Explorium's version of TED Talks?
maybe it was just lectures are $10 each and include drinks and light hors d'oeuvres. Sacred law of hospitality, archaeology, bringing the past to life, monks on the move, scribes and sacred texts. So it looks like a little more like, I guess, like TED Talk kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know he was saying that they're gonna bring in somebody for their next exhibit. It was like a Mars exhibit, and so probably looking more towards June if it's something we want to do.
Okay. I think that would definitely be something to take advantage of, probably.
Yeah, because it gets us on their blast, their email list, and onto the all the other people, the corporate sponsors and things that
Hmm.
they have. So I think it'd be worthwhile, but it means preparing a lecture to give in front of people that have
Yeah,
big
I mean,
drinks and
I
hors
can.
d'oeuvres.
It's doing something that's maybe 15, 20 minutes may not be hard at all, but trying to do something, I don't know how long they want it to be, like something that's, because if they do multiple of them in a night, I'm sure they don't want to have somebody, bloviate for an hour or two up there on stage. But if you're the only person up there, um, that may be a long, they may be expecting a pretty substantial
It looks like
discussion.
you're the only one up there.
Hmm.
Anyway, it's something to keep in mind. We've got some time
Yeah.
to come up with it. He wasn't in a hurry to get a thing. And if you go on the Explorium site and you get an idea of what the talks are have
Yeah,
been,
I'm
and I
on there
think
now.
going into their events thing probably can find where a previous one had been and get a little better idea of what it takes.
Right. Okay. Well, that's it for our agenda. Did anybody have anything else that they wanted to discuss?
Mm, I don't have anything.
All
How'd
right.
your Raspberry Pi stuff go, Rick?
It went really well. We had, for being a very little notice, we had a total of 8 people there, and many others say wishing they could be there and want to go to the next one. Looks like I'm going to try to schedule the next one for the third Saturday of May for the same time at the same place.
Cool.
Hmm. But that's it.
All right. Cool, cool, guys. Well, I'll try and if Brian doesn't send out something tonight, I'll hit him up tomorrow morning and ask him to give us a little overview of the finances and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. Well, I guess when is Pop-Up Broad? Pop-Up Broad's this Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
11 to
Okay.
5 is what it says.
Yeah, 11 to 5. So if you can break away and come down at least for a couple hours and give me a break, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to do that. I want to get involved in that.
Yeah, shoot me whenever you get some more details or whatever. Shoot me a email or something, and I'll try and figure out uh, when I'll be there and everything.
I would just plan on the intersection of Dolphin and Broad.
All right.
Just yell.
You should be able to see it from there.
All right. Cool. Sounds good, guys. Well, Dana, I'll see you on Saturday.
All right, guys.
All right, man.